her lips pressed against mine, soft and warm. I feel my whole body freeze. My hands fall limp by my side as my eyes closed on their own accord. No, the photographer exclaimed, ruining the best moment of my life like it is the biggest tragedy of his. We pulled apart, my heart still racing wildly against my chest, and I can hardly focus on what Olivia and the photographer were saying as my eyes stays focused on her lips. All right, guys, let's try again, Olivia ordered, taking a step back to step away from the camera. And Lucas? She called. I responded. Grinning at me, she said, try not to freeze this time. I nodded obediently, not trusting myself with words right now. Fuck, I am bad at this. I am glad I never got into the model thing. How can I kiss Emily and pretend to be all fine when every nerve in my body is dancing weirdly? Okay, 3, 2, 1. Olivia counted for us to prepare, and just as her countdown ended, I snaked an arm around Emily's waist, pulling her flushed against my body. Her eyes widened in surprise, but she was quick to mask it down. Taking a deep breath, I leaned down, pecking her lips. Her hand came to rest on my shoulders instinctively. And a minute later, we felt the flash. The picture was taken, yet it felt like a torture to back off, to end it just here, to step back once again, to let her slip from my grasp again. Done! Olivia shouted excitedly, forcing us to part. Emily looked everywhere but me, her cheeks seeming to be on fire as she rushed to the changing room to change. Coughing awkwardly, I made my way to another changing room as well. This was one hell of a photo shoot, one I can never forget about. My feet came to a halt when I noticed Nathan standing at the doorway, and the look of disappointment on his face was enough to let me know that he have seen all that happened between Emily and me. Emily has been acting weird ever since that photo shoot. Right now, she is sitting on the couch right in front of me, sorting the files. My gaze keeps drifting over to hers as I notice her, fumbling, muttering something under her breath and chewing her bottom lip. All the signs indicates that she is nervous or awkward. I am not sure what exactly. Emily, I called her name softly. Yes, she jumped like I am a ghost or something. I took a deep breath. Leaning back in my chair, I gave her my whole attention. What's wrong? I inquired calmly, even though I know what is going on in her head. She shook her head. Nothing, absolutely nothing. Why did you ask? She pretended to be fine, even though she looks like she has just survived an apocalypse. Because you don't look fine to me, I stated firmly. She shrugged. I am absolutely fine. Saying that, she bowed her head down, pretending to read the file while task is to sort them out. Emily, I called sternly. She looked up from the files. I stood up from my chair and rounded the desk to lean against it as I faced her, respecting her space. Especially since it looks like that the space was the whole issue. I am not sure about that whole photo shoot now. Maybe it went a little extreme for her. She hummed, her eyes focused on me. Tell me, I urged softly. It is about the kiss, isn't it? How do you know? She blurted out and then instantly realized her mistake as she bit her lower lip. So it is, I asserted. I am sorry, I messed up. Olivia was right there and you seemed to be interested in her. I never thought of it that way. I thought I was doing it for... She started rambling, but I had to cut her off mid-sentence. What does Olivia have to do with all this? I frowned. Confusion washed over me. She pressed her lips in a thin line, seeming upset with herself. You like her. She told me something even I didn't know. Since when? I retorted absurdly. She stood up, placing the files on the couch. Since you saw her in that party. What are you talking about? Her words were not making sense for me. I thought she was being awkward because she did not wanted to do it. but seems like there is a completely different narrative set in her mind. You don't have to lie to me, she said, stepping forward. She stood right in front of me. Now that I look at her from up close, she looks more guilty than sad. That's fine, but I am really sorry. Who told you I like Olivia? I questioned, annoyance bubbling beneath the surface as the desperation to clear this misunderstanding took hold of me. No one has to tell me anything. I saw how you looked at her. Have you seen how I look at you? I cut her off, blurting out the truth which has been aching to escape the confines of my lips. She fell silent, her brows drawing together in confusion, as if she thinks she heard it wrong. Huh, have you seen how I look at you? I repeated, emphasizing on every word. I want to make her stand in front of the truth she has been blind to this whole time. Her confusion deepened, and for a moment, she just stood there, her mouth slightly agape. I could see her trying to piece together my words, but the realization wasn't coming easily. What are you talking about? She finally asked, her voice softer now, almost hesitant, as though she wasn't sure whether to push me for more or to just let it go. Her eyes widened, and for the briefest moment, I thought I saw something flicker there, something that felt like realization, but then it disappeared, replaced by uncertainty. She crossed her arms, looking away for a moment before returning her gaze to me, her lips pressing into a tight line. Are you serious? She asked, her tone incredulous, almost as if she were trying to convince herself it wasn't true. My mind raced, but my words faltered. How could I explain what I had kept buried for so long? How could I voice the anguish that had churned inside me, twisting and turning, never letting me rest? But I had to. The truth had risen in my chest like a tide, and it would drown me if I didn't speak it. I began, my voice rough as if the words themselves were made of stone, unwilling to come free. I've never known how to tell you this, how to say the things that have consumed me, even as I've kept them hidden, even from myself. But now, standing here with you, I can no longer silence the truth. And perhaps in the end, that is the only thing I can give you, truth. As bitter and as raw as it may be. I looked at her, my heart pounding as if trying to break free from its cage, but I forced myself to continue, even as every word felt like a dagger lodged deep in my chest. You think I could love anyone else. You think I could care for anyone in the way I care for you. I laughed softly, a sound that was more bitter than anything else. You've seen it in me, haven't you? You've seen the way I look at you, the way my soul trembles in your presence, but you've refused to see it for what it is because you could never understand how deeply it runs, how hopeless it has become. You are not just someone I admire from afar. You are not just the object of some fleeting affection. No, you are the light and the torment of my very existence. You are the wound I cannot heal, and the salvation I will never reach. I took a step closer, every inch of my body aching to touch her, to somehow make her understand. But the fear of rejection, of realizing how truly unworthy I was, kept me rooted in place. I have loved you in ways I cannot explain, in ways that have twisted me, that have made me someone I do not recognize, that have dragged me through hell, only to leave me standing here half broken, with nothing but the ruins of my soul. I have loved you with the same intensity with which I have cursed my own heart for daring to feel. I have wanted to walk away to forget, but it has always brought me back to you. In an instant, as if to put an end to my torment, she stretched upward on her toes, so close to me now that I could feel her breath mingling with mine. She pressed her lips to mine, silencing me, a soft, fleeting kiss that sent a shock of warmth coursing through me, paralyzing me in a way nothing ever had. I kissed him, my hands cupping his face, but he did nothing. He froze, not moving and standing like a statue as my lips moved against his. I made a move to pull away, but he took me by surprise as his arm snaked around my waist, kissing me back. My eyes widened, lips parting open as he kissed me with a passion which left me breathless. Kissing him felt like coming alive, like burning through the flames of a monstrous fire, yet coming out unscathed. I gasped softly in his mouth as he pulled me flushed against his body by pressing his hand against the small of my back. My heart raced against my rib cage, the kiss sending a surge of spark through my veins. We pulled back our foreheads resting against each other's panting. "Why did you stop?" he asked, his lips hovering over mine in a torturous way. I breathed heavily, meeting his eyes. "I thought you didn't want this. You didn't move." I explained, feeling the heat crawl up to my neck. He grinned a small, coy, and beautiful smile, which took my breath away. I was stunned, not dead. Give a guy a second to catch up. I couldn't help but laugh as my cheeks flushed, my sound breathless and shaky, as I responded, "Well, you caught up." His hold tightened around my waist and my hands instinctively rested on his chest. "And now I am not letting you go." He whispered, his fingers threading through my hairs as he pulled me closer, close to no space between us, as his lips ghosted over mine. Then, without warning, he crashed his lips down on mine with an intensity that stole my breath away. I surrendered to him, clutching his shoulders in a tight grip. I kissed him back like I had been starved of affection and being loved with such fierce intensity. With Lucas having his arms wrapped around me in a protective hold, I cannot help but believe that maybe moving on with him won't be such a bad thing. "Nathan." One missed call. I frown, my eyes flickering to the time on the top left corner before reading the notification again. Why would he call me at 1 in the morning? Thinking of it as a mistake, I turned it off and returned to the bed, covering my face with the blanket when my phone pinged again with a notification. Groaning, I took my phone and brought it inside the blanket. Squinting, I read the text from Nathan. "Nathan, sorry, it was a mistake." I couldn't agree more, I thought to myself. "Me, it's fine," I responded, and was going to switch the mobile phone off when another text from him popped up on my screen. Huffing out a breath in annoyance, I forced my eyes to open as I read the next text. "Nathan, oh my God. Nathan, I did it because I miss you." My heart skipped a beat at his text, but he did not stop at that. His texts kept popping up. "Nathan, I miss you, Emily." "Nathan, I love you." "Nathan, please forgive me. I am sorry. I am begging you." I pushed the blanket aside and sit straight. All the remnants of sleep flew away as I read his texts over and over again. "Nathan, have some pity on me, Emily." My heart clenched at his words. Subconsciously, I took my bottom lip between my teeth, chewing until I tasted a metallic taste in my mouth of blood. After silence of a few minutes, my phone pinged again. "Nathan, 4 years have only shown me how much I destroyed. I was a fool to think I could live without you. I hurt you, and I know that nothing I say can undo the damage. Don't leave me, Emily." My fingers trembles with overwhelming emotions as I typed a text. "Me, where are you, Nathan? Drowning in my misery, waiting for your light. I am past wishing, Emily. I am desperate, fucking pathetic for you." My breath hitches in my throat when I type another text. "Me, you don't sound all right. Tell me, where are you, Nathan? Will you come for me? I won't." I cannot go and look at him without feeling miserable for his condition. I don't have a heart of stone. It melts when he looks at me with those eyes. It turns muddy when he looks at me, apologizing, looking like he is 2 seconds away from crying. But to get an answer from him, I lied. Me? Yes. Tell me, where are you? His response came instantly. Nathan Driftwood Bar. Where is it? I don't know. But asking him for the address felt like another task, so I just typed the name in the Google map and found the address. Me. Okay, I'll be there. Opening my call logs, I dialed Kira's number. I know it is late, but I don't know who else to call. Isabelle's, his secretary. I think she is my best option right now. Pressing the mobile phone against my ear, I waited impatiently as the call rang before reaching voicemail. I tried 4 times, but it reached voicemail every time. Groaning, I pushed the blanket aside and stepped out of my bed. Isabelle's not answering the call, and there is no one else I can call. I mean, there are his parents, but how do I even call them? I don't even have their numbers anymore. Moreover, they are in a different city. Having no other option, I decided to go to him myself. Changing into a white shirt and blue jeans, throwing my hair in a loose bun, I stepped out of my room. My gaze flickered to Mia's room, and I checked on her to make sure she is sleeping before exiting the house. On my way to the bar, I sent a message to Sophia asking her to look after Mia. Sophia, are you drunk? Came her response. Me, not me, but someone certainly is. Sophia, since when you started social service? Me, trust me. You don't want to know. Sophia, whatever. I will be sleeping with Mia. I have the spare keys. She responded and switched my phone off, focusing on driving. After 10 more minutes, I was parking in the parking area of the Driftwood Bar. Sighing, I entered the bar. My gaze wandered around in the whole bar before finally spotting him. He was seated on a bar stool talking to the bartender about something who listens to him with a small smile. I wonder what he's talking about. I stepped closer to them and then heard him say to bartender, "But I am an asshole." He drops his head on the bar table. "I cheated on her. I kissed another woman." He slurred, and the flashes of him kissing Kira's sister and what they did in the office that day flashed through my mind, making me nauseating. When she divorced me, I wanted to lock her in a room, to apologize until she have some pity on me. But Mom stopped me. She said it's better for her. She said that Emily deserves some space, but she disappeared. The melancholy in his voice makes my heart ache. I take a deep breath to brace myself when he speaks again. Then 4 years later, I saw her again. My heart skipped a beat. She looked so beautiful, perfect. "So, did you apologize?" the bartender asked curiously. "I found out she is dating someone." His tone grows sad. "She has someone else now. And no matter how selfish I sometimes feel, I believe she is happy with him. She deserves this happiness. But then again, I am a selfish asshole." Not feeling like hearing more, I stepped closer. "Nathan," I called softly. He turned on his stool, a smile lifting the corner of his lips. "She is here." He whispers, his gaze flickering to the bartender, as if he is introducing me to him. I nodded at him, smiling awkwardly. "Let's go," I said, and took a step ahead to help him stand on his feet. "You came," he whispered, his eyes focused on my face. For a moment, he just looked at me. His eyes, dark and unblinking, traced the curve of my face as though he is trying to memorize every detail of my face. His expressions remains of that appreciation, and I feel my pulse quicken at the intensity of his stare. "You look beautiful," he murmured, almost like a secret he did not want to yell out loud. Stumbling, he stood on his feet. I reach forward, trying to help him stand straight. He smiles at me, his eyes flickering to the place where I am holding him. He walks with me, murmuring something incoherent as we finally reached my car. Opening the door of the car, I help him sit down on the co-passenger seat. But just as I went to close the door, I stumbled upon my feet and ended up falling in his lap. His hands instantly wrapped around my shoulders instinctively. Our eyes locked. He smiled, and I felt my heart skip a beat. "Leave him, Emily," he pleaded, his eyes not wavering from my face as he added softly, "Please." Swallowing, I asked, "Who?" Even though I believe I have an idea who he is talking about, but I still felt the need to ask. I don't know why. "Lucas Carter," he clarified. "Break up with him."